to say that you've been very encouraging, because looking at the headlines, looking at where people are at, every time I turn around, there's another scandal. And it seems that something has gone on and put up in the news that just causes me to be disheartened. And especially as a pastor, always another issue. There's always a new perspective that comes out and saying, how do we respond to this? But what you're calling for is saying, let's really imbibe and understand and revisit and rediscover freedom, not just in the American Revolution, but in the Sinai Covenant, and how that actually is prescribed and given to us so that we might be able to have human flourishing. However, how do we get a society that that rejects the completely biblical narrative, doesn't even want to sniff it? How do we advocate for something like that when the world seems not even to be able to want to listen to it?
One prayer that my wife and I pray every day is based on Derek Prince. You know his story, charismatic teacher. He was an atheist, came to Christ, found himself seconded in World War II to North Africa. He found he was part of the longest British retreat in British history, from Libya all the way to the gates of Cairo and Alexandria, and they found themselves defending Jerusalem and the Suez Canal. Dismal record. Churchill fired the general, sent out another man who died en route. And he sent out a third man. Well, Prince in all this had just come to faith. There's no fellowship, there's no teaching. The odd person he met was also a believer, but like many, he says to the Lord, how do you want me to pray? And the Lord said, pray this prayer. Set over us a leader such that it will be for your glory to give the victory through him. So he prayed that every day on this long, long, long retreat. And finally, they were defending Alexandria and Suez, as I said. And then the third man happened to be General Montgomery, a young man, and his father was an evangelical bishop. And he brought the whole army together before the battle that had to take place, and Rommel was on them. And Montgomery said, let us pray to the Lord of the armies to give us the victory. Only he can. And Prince was listening to this on his radio transistor, not there. And the Lord said to him, this is the answer to your prayer. And the next day was the Battle of El Alamein, which Montgomery won. And as Churchill said, up till El Alamein, all defeat. After El Alamein, all victory. And you can see the importance. So my wife and I pray every day, Lord, set over us leaders. We turn it into plural. And we specify the men and the women we think. Set over us leaders such that it be for your glory to turn things around in this country. So I mentioned Lincoln earlier. I don't depend on leaders alone. No, because you've got to have leaders and followers, all of us at the level we work at. But the big missing thing is leadership and vision. Now, if you had a Lincoln, called America back, not make America great again, but called America back, repenting of the slavery, racism, as Lincoln did, and going back to the first principles, would it capture the ear of the country? I don't know. That's the $64,000 question. I would hope it would. If it doesn't, and there's a little bit more drift, or this administration secures its policies further, the republic is finished. America's not finished. America would still be a strong, prosperous, modern country, but the republic would be dead and gone. Democracy would be dying, because democracy is different from the republic. The republic was shaped by Exodus. Democracy is Greek. So we're at an extraordinary moment. I have no idea, but I do know that whatever the times are, we've got to be faithful.